Have you ever just looked around and wondered why some people seem to get rich so easily, while others, who are just as smart, maybe even smarter, stay stuck? Well, today, we're going to dig into a huge lesson from Rich Dad, Poor Dad and uncover the 5 mental roadblocks that are probably sabotaging your own wealth without you even knowing it.
I mean, this is the question, right? It's probably the most frustrating thing for anyone trying to build a better financial future. You've read the books, you've watched the videos, you totally get the difference between an asset and a liability. You know what you should be doing. So why isn't anything changing? Let's get to the bottom of what's really going on here.
I want you to think about it like this. All your financial knowledge, it's like a high-performance engine in a Ferrari, just ready to go. The problem isn't the car, it's not the engine. The problem is there's this invisible parking brake that's pulled all the way up, and it's keeping you completely stuck in place.
So what is this mental parking brake? It's the moment you realize that your biggest financial enemy isn't the stock market or the economy or the government. Nope, it's that person you see staring back at you in the mirror every morning. Turns out, building wealth has less to do with spreadsheets and a lot more to do with mastering your own mind.
And it really boils down to 5 main reasons. 5 of these mental parking brakes that stop smart, financially literate people from ever building a real asset column. So let's break them down one by one.
All right, obstacle number 1. This is the big one. It's fear. Specifically, that paralyzing, gut-wrenching fear of losing money. Now let's be real. Nobody likes losing money. The difference between wealthy people and everyone else isn't that they don't feel fear. It's all about how they react to it.
And the contrast is just huge. Most people play it so incredibly safe that they're basically guaranteed to never win big. The rich, on the other hand, they don't avoid risk, they manage it. There's this great analogy about how Texans handle failure. They don't hide it. They're inspired by it. They yell, "Remember the Alamo." They literally turn a massive failure into a rallying cry for success.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. For most of us, the pain of losing $1 is way, way stronger than the joy of gaining 2. And because of that, we never even get in the game. But winners, they know that failure isn't the end. It's just part of the process. Okay, let's move on to our second big obstacle, cynicism. You know these people. They're the ones always telling you why something won't work, the Chicken Littles screaming that the sky is falling. Cynicism is really just fear wearing a mask of doubt. A perfect example of this, a cynic sees a fantastic deal on a rental property. But what's their first thought? But I don't want to have to fix toilets. And just like that, with that one little excuse, they shut their brain down and walk away from a potentially life-changing opportunity without even trying to find a solution. This is the key mental flip you have to make. A cynic criticizes. A winner analyzes. So instead of just dismissing the deal, the winner opens their eyes and asks a different question. Okay, how can I own this property without ever having to touch a toilet? And of course, the answer is simple. You hire a property manager. Analysis opens doors that criticism just slams shut. All right, now for obstacle number 3. This one is really sneaky. It's laziness. But I'm not talking about just sitting on the couch, binge-watching shows all day. I'm talking about a much more common kind of laziness. Laziness by staying busy. You know, we fill our days with errands and busy work to avoid the really important stuff, like taking control of our finances. So what's the cure for this? Well, this might sound a little shocking. The cure is a little bit of greed. Now hang on a second. We're not talking about being a bad person. Think of greed here as a healthy, powerful desire for a better life. It's about asking yourself, what's in it for me? And then using that answer, maybe it's freedom or more time with your family, to light a fire under you that's strong enough to overcome that inertia.
And here's a super practical way to do this. Stop saying, "I can't afford it." That phrase is a dead end. It literally shuts your brain off. It's a lazy thought. Instead, force yourself to ask, okay, how can I afford it? Just asking that question flips a switch in your brain. It goes from being off to being on, actively looking for solutions and creating possibilities. It's a total game changer.
Okay, let's bring it home with the last 2 obstacles. These are kind of the silent killers of wealth. They are bad habits and arrogance. So first up, bad habits. And the single worst financial habit is paying everybody else, your landlord, the credit card companies, everyone, before you pay yourself. And then there's arrogance, which is really just a toxic mix of ego and ignorance. Let's really drill down on the habit thing. The rich have one simple rule. They pay themselves first. Period. Even if money is tight, the very first bill they pay is the one to their own asset column.
Now, this isn't about being irresponsible, it's strategic. The pressure from the bill collectors and creditors becomes a powerful motivation to go out and create more income. It actually forces you to become financially stronger and smarter.
And that leads us perfectly into arrogance. Arrogance is nothing more than a mask you wear to hide your own ignorance. It's what makes you think that the stuff you don't know isn't important. And when you're arrogant about money or an investment, you tend to bluff your way through instead of actually learning. And I'll tell you what, in the world of finance, what you don't know is exactly what's going to cost you a fortune.
So there you have it. Those are the 5 mental parking brakes. You've got to overcome that fear of failure. You have to silence that inner cynic. You have to conquer the laziness of just being busy. You need to break your bad money habits. And you have to drop the arrogance that stops you from growing. So as we wrap this up, the most important question isn't for me, it's for you. Take a really honest look at yourself. Which one of these 5 obstacles is your biggest parking brake? Because just identifying it, just knowing what you're up against, is the very first step to finally releasing that brake and getting on the road to the life you want.